Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new here, I want you to subscribe, I want you to like, I want you to share, and I want you to turn on the notification icon so that when next I drop a new video, you'll be the first person to get notified about it. So today we'll be talking about the menu bar. Menu bar is that bar at the uppermost part of your screen when you open Photoshop. So basically this menu bar is where you can get your data saved, your documents saved, you can import your pictures, you can export your pictures, you can do a lot of things. You can access a lot of options using this menu bar. So today I'll show you guys how to go about it, and I'll show you how to use the menu bar efficiently and how to set up your interface. So without much further ado, let's jump right into this video.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, you grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
It's so good to see you guys again. I know a lot of you are eager to start this journey of Photoshop or being a graphic designer, but I want to tell you something. You first have to have some basic knowledge about the principles of design. Like I said in my first video, if you have not watched my first video on how to get started as a graphic designer, I want you to check out this link. You can click here and then you take you to my first video which I drop here on how to become a graphic designer. So all these principles of designs, you have to learn it first. You have to learn color theory, typography, contrast, composition, pattern, emphasis, white space, balance, scale, harmony, rhythm, a lot of things. So I won't be showing you guys, I won't be speaking about all these principles of design here for you guys. I want you to check it out yourself and please read up and make sure you understand. If you have any question about it, drop it in the comment section for me and I will reply every of your comments accordingly. So I want you guys to check the principles of design out first, then from there you can start your journey as being a graphic designer. So today I don't want this video to be a very long one, so I will try as much as possible to just cut to the chase and give you some little hints, nothing much, so that you can get and grab it very well. So I'll be showing you this menu bar on Adobe Photoshop 2021, and again there are like two versions of Photoshop. You can talk about Adobe Photoshop CS, can talk about Adobe Photoshop CC. And when we are talking about CS, that means we are talking about Adobe releasing them in numbers. Like we have Adobe CS4, Adobe CS5, Adobe CX6. Then when we are talking about CC, we are talking about the year. So we can have Adobe CC 2021, Adobe CC 2022, Adobe CC 2018. So today I'll be showing you guys my interface on Adobe Photoshop 2021.
So we'll be talking about menu bar, and our menu bar here is the uppermost layer of our interface. This screen you are seeing right here is called the interface. The interface is made up of our tools, our menu bar, our option bar, and all our panels. So we'll be discussing about this one after the other, and I will make it very brief. So I'll just speak on each of them. I'll tell us what we can do with them and what each and every one of them does. So let's start with our file here. So we have file, we have edit, we have image, we have layer, we have type, select, filter, 3D view, window and help. So let's start with file here. Under file you can have our new, open, browsing bridge, open as. Okay, before we get started, I want to let you know that whichever one I don't touch here or I don't speak about, it means we don't really need it for now. So if I'm skipping one or two, that means you don't need it for now. So the first one we have here is new, and please I want you to take notice of all the shortcut keys here. They have made it easy for us to remember, so I want you to get familiar with the shortcut keys and start using them, because it makes your workflow easier and faster. So if you want to open a new document, you have a project you want to work on, you want to start, you can just come here and click new or go through Ctrl N. So when you click new here, to bring you to this to bring up this particular page, and here you can select your dimensions. If you have your dimensions already, you can just input them. Here you have your width here, you have your width here, you can input the dimension here, the figures here if you already have it, and then the height, width and height. Then you can go with either pixel. We have a lot of measurements units here. You can go with inches, centimeters, whichever dimension you have, but majorly we use pixels. So after inputting your figures, you can make it portrait, or you can make it landscape, whatever the orientation you think you want to use can be. Then you can come to your resolution. The thing about this resolution is that if you want to do a project where it will only be shared digitally, where it will only be shared online and it will not be printed, you can go with a lower resolution, which is 72. But if the project or the particular work will be printed, you can use 300. But in this case, since we are just practicing, let's make it 72. Then we have your color mode, so you can set it to RGB. So, or we have some other color modes here. We have bitmap, we have grayscale, we have CMYK, we have lab color. So, and again, if the projects you're working on will be printed, you can as well go with CMYK. I think a lot of printers use CMYK. Even if you do your work on RGB and send it to a printer, they will surely convert it to CMYK before they print. Because printers works majorly with CMYK. RGB stands for red, green and blue. CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow and black. So you can just leave the rest as they are and you can create your new documents. And this white space here is called canvas. So whenever you hear me say canvas, this is what I mean. This particular white box we have here, like a background. Alright, so let's continue with what we are doing. So we have open. So if you have an existing project that you want to open up again, maybe you are working on something and you didn't finish it up before you close down your Photoshop, you want to come back to it, you can come to open and then you can locate the file wherever they are saved to. Then you can open them up and continue working on the project. Then again, we have browsing bridge. This one majorly works when you connect your Photoshop with other Adobe packages like Audition, Illustrator, stuff like that, but I didn't connect it, so let's keep this. Let's keep this also. Open as smart object, we'll talk about this later. Then open recent. If you have an existing project which you recently worked on, you can just come here and can find it on the list if you have recently worked on the project. So you don't have to go to open, then you can easily find it here in open recent. Easy, right? Yeah, let's move on. Close. So when you're talking about close, it means okay, the shortcut key for close is Ctrl W. You can see here that we have two tabs open. We have the untitled one, we have the untitled 2. So this close we are talking about specifically work with tabs. So if you want to close down this first tab, the second tab here, you can always come to close here and it will close it up, or you can use your Ctrl W, or you can as well come to this X icon here to close up your tab, just like that. So that's what close does. Then if you have multiple tabs open, you can use Alt Ctrl W to close all the tabs that you have opened. Then close others here. If you have if you're working on a particular tab and you want to close all the other tabs except for the one you are working on or you are on, so you can come here to close others and leave just the one you are working on. Then this close and go to bridge. It works with browsing bridge. So like I said, you are connected to other Adobe packages. Then we have our save here. The major reason why the this save option here is faded is because we have not done anything on our canvas. Let's say for example now I draw a small circle here. Then when we go to save, you can see that it is available for us to, the options available for us to click now. So if you want to save your file, you can use Ctrl S, or you can come here to save. So just click save, then we type in the name that you want to save your file as, sample 1, then you click on save. So the untitled one will now change to whichever name you save your file into, as this case sample 1. So that's how to save your documents. And as time goes on, make sure you are saving from time to time. You don't know, Photoshop might start acting up, it might close down, stuff like that. And if you haven't been saving your files or you haven't been saving your progresses, I'm sorry, but um I don't know what to tell you. Well, the main idea is that make sure you make Control S your friend every time. Time in, time out. Control S, Control S, Control S. Yes, make Control S your best friend whenever you're working on Photoshop, because to avoid story that touch at the end of the day. All right, so let's move on to save as. So on this save as, let's see what it does. So when you click save as, it will bring up the same page as the save option, but here you can save as large documents, Photoshop PDF, or TIFF, which is TIFF. So whichever format of document you want to save your file as, you can come here and save it as the preferred format type. And then again, we have our save a copy. It means when you want to save this project as a backup, or you need it for something else, or whichever reason you might want to save a copy of this file, you can just come here and save a copy. Then after saving a copy, you have two files, which is the original one and the copied one, or a copy of it. So revert, let's skip that. Export. So let's say you are done with your project and you want to save it. Maybe you want to save it as PNG, or you want to save it as JPEG, or you want any of these formats. You can easily come to export, then export as. So when you click export as, you have different options to save your documents as. We have PNG, we have JPEG, we have GIF, we have XVG. So just select whichever format you want to save your documents as. Then the image size will be here, the scale will be here, the height and the width will be here. After just click export, and your document will export to wherever you want it to export to. Then you can access them thereafter. So generate, let's skip that. Share, let's skip all this. So majorly work with, when we are talking about this place embedded, we work with majorly pictures in Photoshop. So this place embedded means if you want to bring in your pictures to Photoshop here, so you can always come here to place embedded, then you find the picture. Let's say for instance my picture now, you can place and it will automatically show on your canvas here. So that's one way to import pictures onto your canvas. The other way is to just go to your document, then you can click and drag in. So that's the second way to import pictures onto your canvas. And again, there are so many ways to do things on Photoshop. There are like several ways. I can have like 3-4 ways to just achieve a particular something on Photoshop. So let's delete that for now. Let's continue. So then when you come to print here, if you want to print your file, so you can print. Exit here if you want to close down Photoshop totally. So close here, it works with tab. Exit here, it works with the Photoshop windows if you want to close down Photoshop totally. So you can always come to exit here. So let's move on. Edit. So under edit, the first option we have here is the undo. This shortcut key for undo is Ctrl Z. I think everyone should know that. That's the basic knowledge of computing. So if you want to undo something, maybe you mistakenly shifted this circle now, you want to undo, you can always come here to undo, or do your or press your Ctrl Z. So redo is just the you want to reverse your undo, then you can click redo again to go back to where it was. And toggle state, almost the same thing as the redo. So we have cut here. When we are talking about cut, it simply means when you cut something and you paste it somewhere else, the original copy would disappear and you won't find it where it was again after you have pasted it. The difference between cut and copy is that after pasting, you can still find that original document where it was copied, but for cut, the document will totally be lifted to the new location. So that's the difference between cut and copy. Then paste, when you copy something or you cut something where you want to, when you paste it, it will show up. Then we have puppet warp. Warp simply means when you want to kind of distort a shape or distort something or distort picture. So when we get there, I will show you guys what it does. So if we transform to here, the shortcut key is Ctrl T. So when you enable the transform tool, you will see that these controls will appear, and the work of this control is that you can use it to scale your circle or your picture or anything. So when you press Ctrl T, it will show up this option for you to do stuff like this or move it, or for majorly to scale it up or scale it down. And whenever you make a change to a particular element on your Photoshop, so if you want to commit the changes, you want to accept the changes that you made, you can always come here to click this to commit transfer, or you can use your enter on your keyboard, or you can cancel the transform. So when you cancel, it will go back to how it was and your changes will not be saved. So that's by the way. And again, let's go to okay, we are talking about view transform too. So you can always turn it on or turn it off there. So another way to do that is to come here and tick here. So when you tick or untick, it will always show up, or you can use your Ctrl T. So like I said, there are like several ways to do stuff on Photoshop. So that's about that. Then we can come to brush. We'll talk about brush later. Custom shape, we'll talk about that later, and all this. Then the last thing I want to mention is the preferences. So preferences here simply means the general setting of your Photoshop. If you want to change anything on Photoshop, you can always come to preferences. Then there are not so much things to change. I think the main thing you might want to change could be the maybe the interface. Maybe you are not okay with the color of your Photoshop, you can always choose this black here, or this one, or white. So whichever color scheme you think you're okay with, but for me this one is my favorite. So, and then there are a lot of things here to just check them out, and please do not tamper with anything if you really don't know what they mean or what you want to do. So that's about that. Then let's move on to our image here. Let me bring in an image so that you will see how those works. So when we are talking about images, under images we have the mode, adjustment, auto tone, auto, and all of that. So let's start from mode here. This here simply means the color mode that I talked about earlier. So the options are still here. We have bitmap, grayscale, RGB, CMYK. So basically it will be on RGB, since we started off selecting RGB when we wanted to open up this document. So it will be on RGB, so you don't have much things to do here. Then adjustment, this is where we have all the options to edit our pictures, like brightness and contrast, levels, curves, exposure, and all these. They are majorly for picture editing. So let's try this brightness and contrast first. You can notice the changes on the picture. Make it brighter, then dull, bright, dull, then the contrast, just like that. So that's what that one does. Then levels, you can always check these things out. They are not something to to know or find or something. Just play around with them. They are basically just, then you can come here to black and white. This is your black and white filter. So just like that. So you can just check all this. I don't want this video to be long. You can check it out. Then we have our auto tone. Photoshop we find a perfect tone for you to and it will change it to make Then we have auto contrast, then auto color, then we have our image size, canvas size. So if you want to change the size of the canvas here, remember what I call the canvas, this white space here, our background. So you can change the size here if you want to. Let's say you want to change this one to a square image. Square image means the width is the same as the height, so let's go with 100 pixel. So when you click OK, it will change to a square image. So that's what that one does. Then image rotation, if you want to rotate the image 180 degree, you want to rotate 90 degree clockwise, then 90 degree counterclockwise, so like that. Then again, I think that's all about that on image. So the next one is layout, which we won't be talking about in this particular video. It will be coming up in my next video. So if you have not subscribed yet, I want you to please subscribe and turn on the notification, so that when next I drop the video, you will get notified about it and you can check it out ASAP. So in my next video, we'll be talking about layers, and we'll be talking about the tools. So you see that you cannot miss my next video, so subscribe and turn on the notification. So we'll talk about layers in the next video. Then we can come here to type. I really don't do much here on type. I mean, like, I've never even visited type before. So let's move on to select. Okay, so I'll be also discussing about select. Select has to do with when we are working with our tools. So we have our selection tools. So when we are talking about our tools here, and we will as well touch our selection tools, when we are talking about that, we will surely come to select and talk about the select options as well. So many reasons for you to not miss my next video. Then we have filter. Under filter, we have the filter gallery, which you can apply your filter. There are a lot of filters that came with Photoshop, and you can test them out, you can check them out. See stuff like this, like artistic stuff, brush, you have artistic stuff, so you can check all of them out. So there's really no big deal here. So all these effects, you can check them out. So moving on, we have the camera raw filter. Under the camera raw filter, we have more editing options, which are mainly used by the photographer. So you can change the exposure, the contrast. You have a lot of options here to effects here to apply to your picture. So I think this one is majorly for photographers and people who do retouchings and stuff. So you want to use Photoshop for photography, then you should master the camera raw filter, as it will come very handy from time to time for you. So that's about that. Let's go to Lookify. Let me show you what Lookify does. So when we click Lookify, it will bring us here. So this is the brush size. This circular icon you can see on the screen is the brush, and you can change the size with your curly bracket. You can increase the size with your close curly bracket and reduce the size with your open curly bracket, or you can as well come here to increase the size, you see, then decrease the size here. So what Lookify basically does is that it will kind of, can you see this effect? Jesus Christ, what is this? So basically that's what oh man. Oh, this is funny. So Jesus. So that's what Lookify does. I think I like this picture like this. It looks familiar. I think I know someone that looks like this, and I'm just kidding. So basically that's what Lookify does. Then so we can come to our blur. We have two major ones that we usually use. We have the Gaussian blur, then we have the motion blur. So the Gaussian blur is just like the normal blur, the blurry pictures. Then you can change the intensity of the of the blurriness here. You can increase, decrease, just like that. So then now let's undo that so that I can show you the second blur that we use, which is the motion blur. As it sounds, literally is the motion blur. So like to kind of put this moving effect on your picture. So that's what motion blur does. And then again, you can as well check the rest of the blurs out yourself and see what they do. And all these ones, you can check it out, 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 check it out. So we'll be moving to view. So under view here, you can, there's no much thing to do on view here. It's basically just another setting for your interface. What I say that is important is the ruler. So we have our ruler here, which is Control R for the shortcuts. So when you press Control R, you can see your ruler here. So if you want to make use of your ruler, all you have to do is go on it, then click and drag them down to wherever you might need them. So if you need a guide or like something to guide you for your placement of pictures or whatever, or you want to map out your borders, you can use your ruler to do that. And you want to get rid of them, you can just drag them back to where you picked them from. So you can drag them back to just like that, and they will disappear, and they will disappear just like that. So what other thing can you find here? You can, under show, you have your smart guides. This smart guide is just like a smart guide, like they called it. So I can show you what this smart guide does. So when you enable the smart guide option, just notice that you will see some pinkish line on the canvas. So that's like the smart guide, which is guiding you on the position of your element on the canvas. So just like a guide for you to know the center, maybe the kind of alignment. As you can see, the picture is aligned with the circle now, stuff like that. So it helps a lot in alignment. So you can always want to enable that option. Then we go to your windows. Windows here basically shows all the layers, all the panels you can get on your interface. So for now, let's say we want to work on our character, then you can select your character, then it will show up the panel here, and you have options to work with your characters. So you can get rid of them by just closing it here. If you want to enable another, which is let's say we want to enable our brush, so you can see our brush panel here. It will always put them up whenever you enable them. So you don't want to keep a lot of them so that your interface won't look so clumsy. So you can always come here to switch them on or switch them off, just like that. Okay, and again, the workspace here, Photoshop comes with like 5 workspaces, 1 2 3 4 5 workspaces. They are like customized interface for particular kind of work you want to do. Maybe just want to do just normal photo editing, or want to maybe do a flyer or stuff like that. You can always use your essentials. You want to work on 3D, you can switch to your 3D interface or workspace. Then if you want to work on your motion graphics, you can actually use Photoshop for motion graphics. Yes, you can, and I will show you, but it won't be in this video. That will be much more later. So make sure you subscribe. So then painting, photography, if you want to do some photography stuff, maybe you want to edit pictures, you want to retouch pictures, so you can always select your photography workspace and all. And then you can as well create your own new workspace or delete your workspace. So let me quickly show you how to create a new workspace. So let's say we have our essential workspace like this. Maybe you are a type that likes working with characters very much. Then you can just enable your character panel here. So after putting all the necessary panels, you can just come to Windows here, come to your workspace and click new workspace. So once you click new workspace, it will prompt you to give the workspace a name, and you can just give the workspace a name that character. Sorry for my spelling, character. Then click on save. So when next you want to work on something like characters, you can always come to your Windows workspace. Then you find your saved workspace here as character. So just like that, like I created this graphic and web, so it's my own personal workspace like this. Then when you come to help, if you need more help, you can contact Photoshop. They give you tutorial, they'll tell you what's new, they'll tell you about Photoshop, and also tell you about their plugins. You can check your system info, you can sign in, or you can come here to check for updates. So I think that's all on menu bar. And make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you like. And if you have gained one or two things, I want you to please invite your friend to come and watch this video as well, so that you won't just be the only one taking away the goodies out of the video. Alright, so let's jump back to my face.
Alright, so I know a few of you guys might be wondering, why am I still using Adobe Photoshop 2021 when we are in 2022? Well, I guess that is 3 for another day. And do not forget, if you have any question for me, or you have a particular video in which you want me to do for you guys, I want you to please state it in the comment section, and I will reply it with a video and show you how to go about whatever it is that you're asking. So in my next video, I will show you guys how to use all the toolbars, how to use all the selection tools, the masking tools. I'll show you guys how to use all these tools basically in my next video. So if you're not a subscriber yet, I urge you to please subscribe. I want you to share this video also, so that other people can also learn from these things I'm putting out. So thank you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and it means a lot. So that will be the end of today's video. And do not forget, like I always say, never stop creating. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
I'm sorry. Okay.